Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back in this After Hours podcast. I hope everybody is doing okay out there because, yeah, the infamous Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield ear bite. That shit's fucked up. That was 25 years ago. My phone just notified me of that. That's fucking crazy, dude. Where were you guys when... talk about making history. We'll talk about that in a second. Where were you when you found out that Mike Tyson bit a fucking boxer's ear off? Not off, but a chunk of it. And spit that motherfucker out. And still went after him. Man. Mike Tyson was a dangerous fucking dude. He was a dangerous dude. And the people that were fucking around with him back in the day, man, they caused him to snap and break that fool's, eat that fool's ear, bite that shit. Bah! Bah! 25 years ago that happened. So I hope you guys are all doing okay out there. A lot of crazy shit happening within this past week. Obviously, history has been made. We'll talk about this crazy band here. I'll give you a little clip of this crazy ass band that's going on right now. Oh shit! Maybe if I learn how to use my computer. I don't work well with laptops. I need a mouse and my own separate keyboard. I think I work a little bit more better than using this shit. I'm not very technical. Here we go.
New ordinance is going into effect in L.A., and it would ban bike chop shops on public sidewalks. Someone had put the brakes on that ordinance, saying it impacts more than criminals in a negative way. NBC4's John Caddis Klimak with the story.
So there's that. I don't know if you guys were expecting me to talk about the other thing, but I wanted to see how you guys felt about this. Check this out.
Citywide to have 5 or more bicycle parts on city property. Illegal citywide to have 5.
Crime, yes.
The new ordinance makes it illegal citywide to have 5 or more bicycle parts on city property. Illegal to have a bike frame with gears or cables cut. Illegal to have 2 or more bikes with missing parts, or to have 3 or more bikes for one person on any city property. LA Councilman Joe Boscaino calls this a quality of life issue, molded from a similar ordinance in neighboring Long Beach.
Contrary to what you're hearing.
It's crazy. And then you have people out there. Ultimately, is that just talking about keeping the city public streets clean and not just have, we obviously have a huge homeless issue in LA, one of the biggest in the country, probably the biggest in the world. And majority of all that, you see a lot of bikes and missing parts, a lot of assembling going on. And I'm sure it's not all for just transportation. How many bikes do you need? I don't know if people have their bikes and parts all thrown around their yards. I'm sure because that's their yard. But once it hits the sidewalk, that's the public. I think anybody that's in a neighborhood that would just see a whole bunch of random bike parts in front of someone's yard or on the sidewalk, they would have all the right in the world to complain about that. So anybody, these people that are protesting this, offering free bike repairs and all this other type of bullshit, come on. Come on, can we see the bigger fucking picture here? The bigger fucking picture here. It's public. It's public property, and people are throwing shit all over the place. And if you can't fix the majority of all of the littering and everything else that's going on, at least you can just start, stopping what may just be a little criminal enterprise of people selling bikes, because that's probably the majority of it. So there's that ban. Crazy ass ban. Crazy going on in the world. Crazy going on in this country. And then obviously the huge Supreme Court, overturned or banned abortion, Roe versus Wade. It is a social media country worldwide fucking shit show. And there's no winners on either side. I've been going through social media. Let me get ready for this. Been seeing it through social media. People going completely ham on pro-abortion. Very little on pro-life. It's kind of scary to even say if you're pro-life in this on a platform right now without getting flagged or just getting just murdered with comments and all that. So I've really hockey sticks please. I've actually had multiple conversations with my fiance about this, and we agreed to disagree on a lot of things. And I've said, and I've tried to keep feelings out of it, but it's been super difficult to do that because it's a very emotional conversation to have, because when you look at it, taking someone's right away, whatever percentage you fall into, whether you're part of just a condom break, an accidental, not pull out enough, anything, any situation, good, bad, medium, put at whatever fucking scale you want to put on the scenario that would warrant an abortion, whatever you like. To take away that right is immoral. But I do have to look at this on the flip side of things, which I try to do in most life subjects and topics. It's a touchy subject. And like I said, there's no winners in this. If you are pro-life, this is a huge victory and a huge loss, because you can't celebrate the fact that somebody's rights, in a sense, have been taken away as well. And I do honestly cherish life. I am pro-life. And I'm pro-abortion. I'm pro-life for everybody that wants to have a child, or somebody that can't go through with an abortion and decides to give up their child for adoption for a family that cannot have children. I think if states completely ban it and don't throw, and this may sound super terrible too. I mean, like I said, there's no winner in this situation here. So this may offend people. This may or may not. But if you're a state that is pro-life and banning abortion, you have to consider that consider the possibility of there being guidelines so you can give the people an opportunity. I mean, this may sound horrible as well, but we're going to be frank and be honest with things here, because that's what we do. That's what we should do. We shouldn't pussyfoot around anything. There should be guidelines. And I'm sure you've known people that, I know you've known somebody or heard of somebody that has had probably a lot more abortions than they probably had wanted in life. I mean, maybe really horrible scenarios as well. I'm not trying to judge anything right now. Like I said, it's really, really shitty right now to even be talking about this. But when I've talked to my fiance about this, there's a lot of dire need when it comes down to abortion. What if you have this rare disease and this and that? I mean, we've talked about every single scenario and we talked about a lot of things. And like I was saying at the beginning, whatever percentage it is, to take that away from somebody is immoral, regardless. But I do also hear people that feel out a pregnancy. I saw pictures of people that are in full 6 months, 7th month, labor or pregnant during the pregnancy, and writing on their belly, "This is not a human." And I think there's one thing that, whether you're religious or not, I'm not a religious man. I just want to point that out. I'm not a religious man. I believe in the law of attraction. I really do. I believe that if you do good, you do well with everybody around you and your core people, you do well at your job, you're just going to succeed. You're going to keep prospering. If you're a piece of shit, you're obviously going to be a piece of shit. So, oh man. Yeah, okay, let me just shut that off. Sorry about that. It's rough to take that away. Ultimately, I feel that there should be guidelines. I mean, but to say like I'm sorry, to get back to that's not a human yet. I mean, there's a certain about when you think about religion. Like I said, I'm not religious. Here, let me start over again, because I don't want this to sound really. I feel like I'm attacking anything, because I don't want it. Like I don't want it. I just want this to get over with. I haven't posted anything on social media or anything like that. This is going to be my response, whether people like it or not. And I'm 40 years old and don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks about me. I'm a good fucking person. I don't wish ill will on anybody. But to the religious people out there and the people that find out they're pregnant, it's either I'm pregnant or we're having a baby. No one says we're having a fetus. Hey, me and Mark, we're having a fetus, or me and Jan, we're having a fetus. No, we're having a baby. Oh my gosh, what are you guys going to, are you happy? What are you guys going to do with the baby? Not with the fetus. There's certain, you can't, just like in the Bible, you can't just pick and choose your chapters and live by those chapters and fuck everything else. It's either this is going to be a baby. Is this a baby at the beginning or not? And this whole thing, like you can't put insurance on a baby and all this other type of shit. This is getting silly. You guys are being fucking silly. And then people go, excuse me. And then people say, it should start off, every man should get a vasectomy. It should be every man should get Viagra and this and that. Okay, so let's just stop the population of this country because nobody can no one can wear a fucking condom, or nobody can get Plan B. If you guys are so fucking worried about having kids, then have Plan B right after you have sex with somebody if you have it unprotected sex. Or if you're worried about the condom breaking, have Plan B after you have sex. Life is very precious, and people don't understand. If you can just have, if you have the capabilities of having a child, there's a lot of people I'm sure you guys don't think about all the people that can't. And it's like, oh, I just fucking get pregnant all the time. Well, there's some people that really fucking can't. and would love the opportunity to create life with their DNA and their partner's DNA. And because bad decisions were made, or in the rarest of not rarest, or I don't know. I mean, everybody brings up, what if someone gets raped and then they get pregnant? By all means, like I said, I don't want anybody to lose their right to do this. There has to be guidelines, though. A woman shouldn't be able to have a punch card for this shit either. It is our right. It is their right. It's their bodies. Their decision. Let me ask you, though, when it comes down to, what if a man, what if this couple, they find out they're pregnant and the woman doesn't want to have the baby, but the dude does? Because maybe he, religiously, maybe he wants to follow through so he can have a child, because through his religion he can't, doesn't want to abort a child, or, whatever the case may be. Or just wants to have a child. Or maybe, he shouldn't have did what he did and to get her pregnant. Well, like you said, I mean, the condom broke. Shit happens. It's a very, very touchy subject. And the world that's gearing itself up for like the ultimate clash again. I mean, do you ever remember how crazy your guys' platforms were when the presidential elections were coming out with Biden and Trump? Oh my gosh, it was fucking chaotic. People were so at each other's throats right now. And that's where it's at right now. This country feels like it has to be in constant chaos or something. It can't just be peaceful. When's the last day you had a peaceful day on the news of anything? And it's not like something small. It's something traumatic and crazy, like these mass shootings and forest fires. What have we all gone through this year already? We've gone through, Dave Chappelle going through the transgender, movement and everything. The fight for transgenderism. Has that gone away? The BLM movement, that's all gone away. There has to be just a high trend of chaos. And I'm fucking done with it. If sometimes we all sat back and looked at the fucking mirror sometimes when we say shit that we say, and I've done it, and that's why it took forever to even respond to something like this, we would be so much better, because we can understand, like, hey, you know what? I've made fucking bad decisions too. Maybe I should delete that. Or maybe I should rephrase that. You fucking perfect angels out there that are spitting craziness out there, whether you're pro or negative, pro-life or not. You guys need to fucking sit back. You got to see both sides. Try to understand it as best you can. Because what I've always been saying since the fucking pandemic, if we haven't learned anything to progress as better human beings to each other, then we are doomed. And all this stuff, since we're so engulfed in our fucking phones, we see it all the time. We get those bing, those pop-ups, those notifications, and everybody's loving it because they throw one thing out there with so much passion, and everybody liking it, everybody feeding into it, and feeding into your hunger just to express yourself. We are not perfect people. This is an imperfect world, and change needs to happen. And there needs to be communication. This whole thing of Roe versus Wade, just they try to spring it on us and it got linked out. It's not something that should have been linked out. It should have been something that was fucking discussed, because this wouldn't have been a big fucking deal, because it probably never would have happened. If the American people would have had time to even throw in a petition out there, it could have swayed everything. But there was no communication. No communication. Where's our president at for the executive order to fucking stop this shit? There's no winners in this situation. Nobody's winning right now in life. This whole entire world is suppressed with anger and depression and entitlement. I just found out that California is going to give out like $1,000 checks for gas. It's a gas relief bill that we won't pay for later, people. Instant gratification. You have to pay for it later. It has to come from somewhere. You think all this? Yeah, fuck this. All right. I love you guys. Maybe not. Maybe not love you guys. I may not love all you guys. Maybe love some of you guys that listen to this. People that I know that we love and care about. Sorry about that, Rooney. Fucking shook the shit out of her. Anyways, thank you all for listening to this podcast. The ones that will probably continue after this, or the ones that listen to 20 minutes of it and realize I'm a fucking asshole. I appreciate you guys for going through this long. But take care of yourselves out there. Take care of your family. I'm going to try to squeeze one more of these in, maybe two more before I go on vacation next month for about 2 weeks. Or right under 2 weeks. But I might be bringing the podcast out to Montana and talking to the locals there. I think it's going to be fucking awesome. And yeah, I think I'll probably take it anyways. But to actually throwing out while I'm out on vacation, I'll probably just do a lot of recordings and then get it all together for you guys when I come back. But anyways, like I said, as always, people, keep positive, stay classy.
3,
Peace.
2,
Rue.
1, 0, 0, and liftoff.